Yes. Yes, sir. 12 strings. 12 strings. Baby.
Man, what the hell, man?
Hold up, I'm staying out here trying, but this chip is on my shoulder, yeah. But I ain't gonna let it hold me back. I ain't gonna let it hold me back. So if you wanna chase your dreams, you gon' have to It's my life in the sunshine. Told my mom, sit back, let her sunshine. We ain't got a lot of money, but we gon' grind. When you trying to be great, ain't no lunch times, ain't no smoke breaks. Gotta work through 'em. It's some blood, sweat, and tears, better push through 'em. They gon' tell you that you can't, don't listen to 'em. They say it's love, but it's hating what they really doing. And so we really move, cut the brake lines, keep your hand out, I'm protect mine. I got patience, so even if it takes time, we gonna take it to the top on that incline. Yeah, it's time, so baby, we on the move. A 12 string, the machine, homie, where to go? I want the fam, it's the dream, baby, what is you? Cause I know hear me on the thing we gon' listen to. Hold up, tell me what's the hold up. Staying out here trying, but this chip is on my shoulder. But I ain't gonna let it hold me back. I ain't gonna let it hold me back. So if you wanna chase your dreams, you gon' have to run. It's my life in the sunshine. I told Pop, sit back and let the sun shine. Let him know that I got him when I'm on the grind. And he ain't never got a word when I get a dime. Cause when I get a dime, then he gon' have a nickel. Put that on everything I love, so you know I'm with you. And we gon' get it how we live, so it's so official. And they gon' hate it, but you see how far that hatin' get you. Well, never mind now. Long as they know that we gon' ball to the sky crack. And I ain't gotta have pins or 100 racks. Long as the brody got his team, I'ma never lag. Keep my head on point, bring your lack. Fresh jeans, no crease, we never slack. Never trap, but traffic, rap.
Genius for hustlers, we get it back. Oh, hold up, hold up. Trying, but the chip is on my shoulder.
But I ain't gonna let it hold me back. I ain't gonna let it hold me back. So if you wanna chase your dreams, you gon' have to run. You gon' have to run. You wanna chase your dreams, you gon' have to run. Tell me what's the hold up. Staying out here trying, but the chip is on my shoulder.
Yeah.
But they gon' let it hold me back. So if you wanna chase your dreams, you gon' have to
run. Shout out to my brother Fro Wonders, and sincerely yours, Ultrasound. But what's going on, blessed one? So sorry, I'm driving. I'm not supposed to be doing this, so please don't share this. Man, beautiful people, blessed ones. Black Lives Matter, so I'm riding down the strip, and I was dropping my son off. Thought I'd get my 30-minute, get my hour walk in or something. But I ordered my food from, the side street cantina on 11th Street, down at the Virginia Beach Oceanfront. So, I've been going down there, every now and then. I go Thursdays, Fridays sometimes. And let me tell you, I went down there Shoot, man, what time was it? Like 5 o'clock. Might have been 5 o'clock. I'm just now leaving. Not because I was walking, but because of the traffic. And it wasn't like accident traffic, but it was just like regular beach traffic, you know what I'm saying? Riding down Pacific, turn to 40th Street to go to my usual 7-Eleven to get some breath mints. You know, talking to my cousin and, you know, my brother's in the group chat too, but he don't really interact. But I was just explaining to him, you know, like I'm like, just looking at everybody, like, I get excited a lot of times, you know what I mean? You know, for one, you know, I'm a Cancer. So I'm very sensitive. I'm very passionate. You know, I love beautiful women. All shapes and sizes and colors. I get excited, though, because it's like, this is the world we live in, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got people, you know, big, small, old, young. Too old that they don't need to be out there, but they out there. Too young that they don't need to be out there, but they out there. And, you know, people like, you know, like me, who are supposedly, quote unquote, black African Americans, whatever that is, you know, we're still feeling oppressed. We're still feeling oppressed by white supremacists. White supremacy. What kills me is that, what was all this energy when Michael Jackson was around? There was a lot of racism going on for years, like for centuries, generations. But I'm gonna be honest. And maybe it's just me, but it's like, of course, there's always been police brutality and racism around, especially in the, you know, inner cities, you know, the poor black neighborhoods and communities. But before Michael Jackson, before Michael Jackson died, I didn't hear about a lot of this stuff. And, you know, I started to say this is like, you know, me growing up in a Christian household, you know, not really allowed to watch Beavis and Butthead and a lot of certain, you know, music. You know, I used to just listen to Boyz II Men and Michael Jackson. And as a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-year-old, not really being out there like that, and what I know about God and Jesus and all that stuff, I really thought that Michael Jackson was a magician. How he turned into gold dust. And I remember the Time video, how he turned into, you know, a panther, and, you know, the black and white video at the end or whatever, and how he, you know, did certain things, and, you know, just certain things, man. It's like, say what you want to say. Say what you want to say about Michael Jackson, man, but that was still a black man. And he made, like, people don't make music like that. You know, you can compare him to the Princes. You can say Beyonce is the new whatever, but he made different, like, his music, even though they call him the king of pop, he was still R&B. So my whole thing is, you know, when I'm riding down the beach, walking down the beach, whether I'm in Norfolk, Virginia Beach, DC, whatever, I see people walking together, all colors, say what y'all want to say, race or whatever, but all colors, just walking together. I mean, if you racist, you racist, I mean, but just being able to enjoy the weather, enjoy the food, enjoy the culture, enjoy the sand, the beaches and stuff, is, you know, can't we just all get along? I am perfectly fine with being in a world where there is a racist. Racism, that's going to come with a racist, but for me, like, if you don't like me, cool, but is my life really worth that much to you? Because when you gotta think, when you're a racist and you're racism and you're literally take the time out to kill somebody who is not your color, not your race, as you would say, you're really taking a risk with your life as well. So would you really go out of your way to try to eliminate me just because you don't like the color of my skin? We bleed the same color. We breathe the same air. We cry the same tears. A lot of us are from the same environment. Say what you want to say, but like, you might have a white relative or a black relative. When slavery was going on, there has been blacks, women, black men raped. A lot of the black women were raped, and then they had kids by the master. But such arrogance of the master, the white master, slave owners. Now I cannot see with this sun. Lord have mercy, I cannot see with this sun. Move out of the way. God dang, I can't see with this sun. Hold on. The fact that this is going on still, because I want my black folks to know this, right? Slavery lasted, 400 years, a little bit? We encourage each other and calling each other kings and queens and everything, which is great. But I'm going to say this. We are much more than slavery. I don't like to call myself a descendant, because descendant means to descend, to go down, to move downward. And I personally do not like that. I don't feel like, hey, if we're all going to sit here and say that the slaves that was kidnapped and brought here went through this so we can have a future, which is a whole nother video, then I feel like we shouldn't call ourselves descendants. For those of you who are descendants of slaves, a lot of people feel like we're all descendants. A lot of people feel like, hey, this is, everybody comes from Africa. But I just wanted to say, because I was down there on the strip and I was like, man, I ain't really get out this time. I mean, I'm not one of these people that's going to, spend an hour looking for parking. Sometimes I go out just to enjoy the scenery. But it was beautiful out there. I thought it was beautiful. A lot of beautiful people, man. Just walking out there, some people had their kids with them. Some people was out there, dressed up like they was about to, go to the Versace exclusive all members party or something. But it's just the fact that, people can walk these streets in Virginia Beach, and Virginia, one of the first states to have slavery, one of the most famous states in the United States of America, if you will. Because I mean, we come a long way as it is, because before, I'm sure we couldn't even walk, we couldn't walk the same streets. There's going to be some bad apples. I mean, we still got some ways to go. I mean, I'm telling you, like, and slavery didn't end not too long ago. It's still, slavery for however many years, for the 400 years that we was in captive, we haven't even been free for 400 years yet. So it's going to take even longer for all that systematic white supremacy to remove itself. There are still some places that got slaves in secrecy. A lot of people believe even in the prisons, that's another form of slavery. But all in all, I just wanted to share some thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel good. I feel good to be alive. I feel good to be a U.S. citizen, to be a brown-skinned man. I just feel good to be a man of God, a man of faith, because people like myself who recognize and is aware of everything going on around them still chooses to not take part in any other things. I'm all about self-defense. I'm all about being woke and being aware. But I am not for, sitting here trying to find the people, trying to find certain companies that say, hey, this company is supporting Trump, this company is got a racist owner. I'm like, shoot. I cannot see with that sun. Man, that sun is bright. See, that's the thing. Like, I just want us all to get along. You know what I mean? If people want to have a Confederate flag up, let them have it up. That's their right. You know what I'm saying? This is America after all. Because we can't sit there and force people. We can't sit here and force people to feel a way about you. But yet we're trying to force them to therefore, like, again, it's kind of like oxymoron. It's kind of contradiction. You think you're going to be able to change people's opinion about you because the world is different now? Hell no. Hell no. I don't know why. All I know is that, we have to do better. Some things we have to accept and acknowledge that, hey, we can just stay out the way, because at the end of the day, if we feel like something is wrong and people need to change their behavior and change their ways, because it's 2020, and like 5 years ago it was 2015, and before that was 2010. So the fact that you feel that way, isn't it possible that people can feel this way? I mean, we all have to re-educate ourselves and unlearn some things, but I'm sure a lot of people are willing to die. A lot of people are willing to die and stand for what they believe, and say, I'm going to fight for my brother, I'm going to fight for my children, and say, me too, I am. But not when it comes to things that like people are born come on. People people are, man, people are born. People are born into families. They're born into certain histories. That is not their fault. So we teach what we know. And I get it that we're trying to teach we're trying to, because the thing is, we can we're going to educate those who want to learn, those who want to change will change. But people who are killing, we're getting killed because we are our skin color. Those are the people who I believe are not willing to change, who are not willing to hear. They don't care what you have to say. We teach what we know. Just like, I was born into a household where, again, respect your elders. Homosexuality, that's a no-no. Yes ma'am, no ma'am. Respect is all form of respect. And I was born during that. I was born in 1987. So I grew up in the 90s. So the 90s wasn't that long ago. 1999 was 20 years ago. And I'm 32 right now. At the moment. So for 12 years, I was born, I was brought up, I was taught certain things. And me graduating high school in 2005 and going and getting out of college and everything like that, it's still like, hey, like gay marriages just became legal. Gay marriages just became legal. What, 2 years ago? A couple years ago, and it's not even legal in all states, I don't think. Somebody correct me. I know I'm going on a tangent here, but I just want to be clear. I just want people to understand where I'm coming from. Okay? Because you have to, if you can't force somebody, you can't force somebody to, I don't know. I don't know if we're, people ain't going, okay, fine. You're a racist. Somebody's a racist. Let's take these flags down. Let's beat these people up. We'll teach them a lesson not to say certain things to us. But they're still going to feel that way. Everything starts in the mind. Giving them more reason to hate you. When we attack them and beat them up and do this. It's counterproductive because it's well, they're going to do it anyway, so we might as well go ahead and get it done. No, you got to understand, people are going to, not everybody, you can't change people's minds. You can't force people to change their minds. This just like a casualty of war, man. It's unfortunate that we have our brothers and sisters dying on the street by the hands of the police. It's unfortunate that, we get discriminated against for the color of our skin. It's unfortunate for those who are, sexually fluent or feminine or not even rich. You know what I'm saying? I want better. I want better for my people of Israel, Jacob. But I also want better for my people of God. Don't knock my faith. My faith is Jesus. I can't sit here and say that I'm a Christian anymore, because at the same time, I feel like if you're going to label yourself as something, you have to hold yourself as that. You have Christian values, but do you have Christian actions? When people talk about the pastors and the church and the church folks, the Christian folks are doing this and that, they're doing that, and I'm like, well, wouldn't that mean that they're not a Christian if they're doing that? So you can't knock them for trying to act Christian-like if they're not Christian-like, or anything. My whole thing is, I just want everybody to be able to live their life, peacefully, comfortably, and as righteously as they can. Like if you're a racist or something, if you're prejudiced, well, I'm not even gonna say prejudice, because prejudice just means prejudgment. You might prejudge me, but you probably seen somebody just like me, and you might have had experience with people who look just like me, and you might say, well, I don't really like people who are your color because I have bad experience with them. It's the same thing with anything. Like you might have a bad experience with men with kids or women with kids, and you say, I don't want to get involved with it. Maybe it's not the same, but I'm looking at it as the same way. The mind is very tricky, but the heart is trickier. The heart is deceitful. So when you talk about God knows my heart, it's you gotta what comes on after that? What goes on after that? Because God knows your heart, but the thing is, do you know your heart? You can feel, like it takes a lot more. It takes a lot more than just wanting to do something. God knows what's in your heart. He knows that you wanna change. He might know that you want to change, but you're just saying it just to sound good. Like God knows your heart, but He looks deep down into your soul, because you got to understand the difference between the soul and the spirit is what's going on. I didn't, like I said, I didn't grow up rich. I grew up fortunate enough to have both my parents in my life. I grew up to where I didn't have to live in the projects or nothing like that. But at the same time, what was going on around me didn't affect me, so I didn't allow my soul to get corrupted, but what was in my spirit was that I have family that cares about me. I have family that supports me. I didn't have any of that experience. My dad was in the military. My grandfather is a preacher, so even having been from those two, I don't even know what to call it, from those two, just being a member of a family with religious and Christian values, it taught me to, love everybody. To, I'm not even sure we had a conversation about love or forgiveness or anything, but just the fact that I know that, hey, not everybody, I don't feel like everybody's a racist. Same thing with being in the military, just as far as being around certain people. I feel energy as I got older and got into my own, even being a father now, I can feel energy. I can sometimes feel where I'm not like, okay, something's about to go left. People might think that I'm crazy or that I'm just rambling, but at the end of the day, here's my take. If you have no hate in your heart, since God knows your heart, He knows that from frustration and rage and injustice, sometimes you're allowing that to overpower you. Now, does that mean you're mad, or do that just means it's really not there? But blessed ones, I'm gonna tell you, like, it's been a very good day. My son stayed with me last night. He haven't stayed with me since the end of February because of this coronavirus thing. I'm gonna tell you this. I have to live with the fact that I'm not because me and my ex-wife are no longer together and not married, I have to live with the fact with my decisions. It's not about her, what decision she made in our marriage. The decision that I made in my marriage, I have to live with those decisions and to why I can't see my son every day. I mean, I can probably see him. I can see him every day on FaceTime, but the fact that he's not with me, I'm not with him 24/7. We all make choices. Not saying that you can't change. Not saying that that's going to define you forever. What are you doing about it? Like if you make a bad decision, because there are bad decisions and then there's, poor decisions. Me being an unfaithful husband, that was a bad decision that I knew was a bad decision. Me dropping out of school was a poor decision. I knew it would I probably wouldn't get my degree, but I didn't know how much of an effect it would take on me financially. But what are we doing about it? What I'm doing about my relationship with my son is that I still talk to him. I still teach him things. Me and his mother have a great relationship. It's not a perfect relationship, but we have a great relationship. I'm in a happy place. I'm trying my best to get out of my position now where I'm at. But, my decisions as financially, I'm paying for it. I'm trying to settle my debts. I'm settling my debts. That's how I'm taking care of these things. So I just, so this thing just kind of started going left and started talking about other things. But all this stuff goes hand in hand. Like if you are a racist, all I say is this: be careful, feel how you feel, but don't let you being a racist show acts of racism. Because there's a lot of people who are racist and they just don't rock with black people. They like whatever. I mean, that's fine. Not everybody's gonna be. There's people who are not racist. There are people who are in my family, people who are close to me. They probably don't like everything about me. They probably don't like my body or my skin or something like that. I don't like myself sometimes, but it's like, what do you do? So blessed ones, Facebook viewers, YouTube viewers, wherever you are watching this on, Twitter, whatever, Instagram, whatever. I just encourage everybody to, remain humble, just stay true to who you are. There's a time to cry. There's a time to fight. There's a time to sit down and shut up. There's a time for everything. I'm not saying that this isn't the time. I don't know. Some may know more than me, but I'm just saying, like it's not really that small of a world. Life isn't really that short. I mean, if compared to God, if that's who you choose to, compare it with, it is. But 5 years is a long time. It just depends on what you do. You know, I mean, the word is yours, man. Life is what you make it. Don't let life, that's everything that goes on around you, affect your life, what you're doing. Don't let it control you. You know, it's gonna sometimes dictate. It's gonna sometimes get you. Like I said, I tell you all the time. I express this all the time. I'm not ashamed to say it. You know, I have high blood pressure. You know, it was pretty good today. It was pretty low today, and you know it was good. And I went for, I had to go for a drive. Couldn't get my walk on, but it was beautiful being out, seeing people, seeing black folks, white folks, yellow folks, red folks, women and men, you know, because the thing is, men are more likely to kill each other than women is, I think. I don't really hear a lot about, I know there's women in prison who's in jail for, they kill some, but you don't really see that. America is still pretty much kind of like sexist a little bit of times, and I think I'm sometimes sexist where it's like, I don't really, if it was up to me, I wouldn't want women doing, dirty work or manual labor. Not saying that they got to be housewives or cook and clean. I just feel like, I feel like women they deserve to be cared for. I feel like they need to treat themselves better, and we need to treat them better as men. Because not just because of the rights that they had, because all women didn't have rights. White women didn't have rights. Black women damn sure didn't have rights, especially in slavery time. But my thing with women is that they are born, to me, they are made complete. And I say this all the time, they are made complete. No, I don't think that everybody should be married. I don't think everybody should have kids, but I do believe that woman came from man, but we're all women first. But we all, woman came from man, and that's where we came. We were sperm first. We were semen first. And it's kind of wild because it's like, I'm not even gonna get into this. I'm not a scientist or a doctor or nothing, but it's just remarkable. But yeah, like I said, it was just happy to see it, man. You know what I mean? Like, just people enjoying the weather. You know what I'm saying? Like, people had the people was out there. People was out there on the beach. It's beautiful, man. It's just beautiful to see it. I'm not really a big center of attention type of guy, but if I could just pick some people's brains sometimes. But blessed ones, I think that's going to be it for me. Those of you who took the time to watch this video, even if it is just for 2 minutes or 10 seconds, thank you very much for your time. You could have been anywhere else. You could have been doing anything else, but you took the time to watch this. And hey, if y'all can listen to your favorite rapper's album, or even a artist that don't give a damn about you album, you can listen to me if that's what you like. They say I need a podcast, The way that I be sending messages in my brother and my cousin's group chat on Instagram, I would have just been finishing up one message. I'll send like 10 back-to-back audios, and I'll use up every single minute. And I guess I love it talking. I don't like talking. I just feel the need to express things sometimes. Know what I'm saying? So it's just, blessed ones, beautiful people, please, please, please take care of yourself. Watch out for one another. Be safe. And if you can't pray for me, just stay out the way. Well,